and welcome to Neat and Not by the Sea, Flosstube video number 50. It is Saturday, the 29th of April 2023, and my name is Victoria, and my pronouns are she, her.
Kia ora, aroha mai. My name is Catherine, and my pronouns are she, her.
And welcome to our Flosstube video. We are filming from, can I say where we're filming from?
Yes.
Wakaiti in, are we still in Dunedin territory?
Yeah.
And from Dunedin. No longer in Port Chalmers because someone left. Yeah. And we are filming on a Saturday because I had a guild meeting on Thursday evening. So special hello to Amy and Pam, who were quite put out by the fact that I would not be filming on Thursday and there would not be a new video.
Although, come on, learn Spanish. I don't have a social life. It's always a video on a Thursday.
Yeah, welcome. It is a beautiful day.
It is a gorgeous day. As we've become really boring at home because we're on photovoltaic. We're not connected to the grid. So we now have what we call solar days. So this morning it was not a solar day, but this afternoon it is.
Lovely.
And that counts as chats with my husband.
It means, oh, we can cook dinner and do the washing.
Yes. Yes, so we're here on a Saturday, which means that we're not filming next Thursday. So for those of you that watched
We wouldn't have been
both
filming.
Spanish and English, I did say that we were going to film on Thursday, which was our original plan.
Yeah.
But that's not the case anymore.
Yeah.
And apparently Victoria's social life is changing again, so we will be okay on Thursdays.
Yeah. So the guild meetings are shifting to a Saturday day session over the winter.
Yes. Okay, before we start, and speaking of people that don't film, I do want to say, I miss people that stopped doing Flosstube. Kim, I'm looking at you. Do you even watch Flosstube anymore? I don't think you do. Anyway, it's very sad.
It is. But
It was a Flosstube called Cataloguing My Stitches,
it was good.
which was grand, and it's very missable, very sad. But I'm hoping you're having a great life.
Yeah. Post-COVID.
Obviously, we're not having a great life. We're still making time to film.
Even on a Saturday, a beautiful Saturday day, we'll sit inside and film.
What should we do with our lives? Let's film a Flosstube.
Let's go.
But we're hanging out as well.
We are.
You're staying
We are.
for dinner.
Yeah.
We're doing chats.
Staying for the
it's
afternoon.
actually a lovely afternoon.
Yeah.
I have all sorts. You've got FOs. I've got things to recommend. I've got a tiny little bit of embroidery. I've got a podcast to recommend. I've got a film to recommend. I've got an Instagrammer to recommend. Oh, I need to talk to you about my potential new craft.
Ooh.
I have almost taken this step. I'll talk about it later.
I don't even know about this.
She doesn't know yet because she's busy, because she has a social life.
And I've got shopping that's not stitching related, but I've decided to show you anyway because it's awesome.
Yeah.
As do you. You've got a bit of shopping that's not stitching related.
Today was a delightful parcel day. Hurrah!
I got home the other day and I had 3 parcels in my letterbox. It didn't even close properly. I was so excited.
But you've only brought one thing.
I know, because the other 2, no. So what was one? One was some sewing charms, which you'll see when I stitch them on things.
We're not sponsored.
Highly recommend though. One was one of the item I will show you, and the second one is related to the Dunedin Stitching Retreat that's happening next weekend, where you can choose to partake in a fun thing where you can wear a crown or a hat or a fascinator just to acknowledge that it is also the weekend that King Charles will be
Coronated, as you once said.
Yeah.
Crowned, for those that speak English. But I was quite amused by coronated.
Well, surely that's the coronation of, yeah. So, not necessarily a huge fan of the royal family, but it's always fun to,
Oh, please don't give me that. You totally are a fan.
Oh, I was, up until the Queen died.
Your email arrived.
Excellent.
Your email from the guild.
I sent it to you the other day. I'm going to resend it out just in case, because I'm quite concerned now that not everyone's got it.
Yes. Yeah, because I don't know what's happening because I'm not on the Facebooks.
Yeah. There's a couple of people not on the Facebook, so.
Oh, see, I'm in good company. I've lost my glasses.
Let me look at me. No, they're not on your head.
I might have left
Look
them
at
in
me.
bed. It's fine. I can read my email when we're not filming.
Yeah, do it in your own time, Catherine.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, enough shenanigans.
All right.
Last time, I don't think you showed your book.
No, I don't.
I think you forgot.
I did.
So,
I'll show that. That relates to some other things. So
okay.
I'll show that.
So, do you have any? Oh no, you're leading. You do
No,
leading.
no.
I do chocolate.
Okay, so I think today, do we want to do any chats? Do you have anything you want to say, or just do it
I
straight
have
out?
tons to say.
Anything you want to say at the start?
I don't know. When do I do recommendations usually? Oh yes, I do. Okay, prompts for the 50-year-old woman who forgets everything. I want to say we got lots of really good responses about New Zealand.
Oh, about weaving
Yeah, when we asked people, are you from New Zealand? Are you coming to New Zealand? Have you been on holiday? All those. We had great responses. I was quite jealous of a couple of people. So these were public comments, so I think I can say them. So Zeb had lived in loads of places. It was quite exciting. And I think it was Kate had come to the North and the South Island separately. So that was cool. And then there was lots of wishes, including Donahi, who messaged me separately, wanting to go to Hobbiton. I was like, you're not going with me. I'm not bothered.
I'll go with you,
And
because
then
I
she
want to
said,
go.
I'll go with Victoria. And Paula fancies coming, but Paula watches lots of TV shows, and I think she mentioned a couple of scary ones maybe, or like suspenseful ones that I would never be interested in because frightening. Oh, damn it, I forgot my interloan again. I got my interloan that you recommended, Paula, and do I remember to pick it up? No, I don't. Drat. Yeah, so it was good fun. It was good fun to hear from people and stuff like that.
Excellent.
So that was cool. Another thing, we got tons more subscribers. So
Oh wow! Yeah, if you're new, welcome.
yes, welcome. During my lunch hour over 3 days, I created playlists. So if you're new to the channel, you can watch using the playlists. So you don't have to like keep clicking on things. It'll just kind of loop through.
And I think you've separated off the English ones and the Spanish ones.
Yeah, so there's a
and
playlist
the
for
quilty
English.
ones.
Yeah, there's a playlist for Spanish, and then there's a playlist for the quilty ones in Spanish and in English. So, yay! And now we're getting organised and adding them to the playlist as we go.
Excellent.
So we should be okay. I need to check the numbering because I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, and you may have noticed, Catherine, also you cleaned up our Flosstube videos and numbered things correctly. And
Yes.
So it all looks the same and standard now.
Yes, and there are no hashtags before the numbers as well, which is
Yeah.
confusing things.
Yeah, because at the
So-
beginning I didn't know that hashtags then became a thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
We will. It's been a learning experience.
it has. And the other thing as well is you may have noticed that not all of our videos, but some of our videos have adverts now, and they're, you know.
Oh, that yeah.
I was about to say there's nothing we can do about it, but the truth is that we haven't looked into if we can do anything about it. But from what I know, unless you have 1,000 followers, you have no control. So once you have 1,000 followers, you're allowed to monetize, but then that also gives you rights to choose the number of adverts and where they're located.
I don't think it gives us the option to remove ads completely, but we don't know.
No. Yeah, because I was watching a podcaster, a knitting podcaster, and she was complaining because she really would like to monetize, and she has thousands of followers, but YouTube won't let her. So she actually has no adverts on her channel.
Huh.
But we're not monetizing. So even though you're seeing adverts, we're not monetizing. But there are adverts, and there are not adverts everywhere. And it's not like there are adverts in the most viewed one either. There's just random. And then I knew this for a few months now. Because sometimes I watch the episodes because, you know, sometimes I'm too tired to think, so I just watch something that I know what's going to happen.
No surprises.
Although I do laugh, I'm like, we're so funny. But yeah, Donahi mentioned that we have got adverts now, but they've been around for a bit, so it's not us. We're not doing it.
Yeah. And we have no say in what sort of ads you're getting advertised to either.
So you might get some gross adverts.
Yeah.
I get some adverts, so I think your algorithms are really not working very well, because I wouldn't be interested in that. I can't remember when I do recs. When do I do recs?
I don't even know what Rex is.
Recommendations.
Oh, just do it now.
Okay, so things to recommend. Oh, have I deleted them?
If you're new to our video, you'll very quickly find that we forget what we do and we just
that's right.
different every time.
That's right. It's been a heavy week. I was folding cartons.
Why were you folding cartons? Oh, you
because we needed to fold cartons, and I had to lead by example because apparently not everybody loves folding cartons. So like the whole team folded cartons, and I have lots of allergies, and it was horrific on Thursday evening.
I bet it was.
The bus was late. I came home by bus. The bus was late. Although lots of embroidery on the way there and back. I think I love buses. So
I feel bad because usually I would have brought you home on a Thursday.
Oh yeah, it would have happened. No, that was fine. I think I love buses. I'm thinking that I'm just going to do buses because I actually get 2 hours of stitching if I go on the bus.
Ooh.
Which is amazing. So, I'm thinking about it. But anyway.
Does it still just cost you $1?
Yep.
Man,
so that's $2 and
$2.
no guilt.
Yeah.
And chats. So I bump into people that I kind of quite like. People, acquaintances. And it's nice to have a little catch up with people.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was nice. Okay, things to recommend. I've just watched, I don't know what's going on in my head, but I'm watching films that I wouldn't normally watch. And I watched a Mexican film, which is on Netflix. It was amazing. Also, possibly the worst film to watch when your children, both your daughters are going to live in Europe for a few months on their own. But, life's good. Women must do their thing. It's called Ruido, and in English the name is Noise.
And do you know if it's, obviously it can be I'm assuming it's subtitled in English, or it can be dubbed?
It's dubbed. Yeah, you can watch it dubbed into English. There's quite a few languages, but definitely English. It's about the disappearances of women, girls, men, children in Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
So I posted something on my Instagram because it kind of came up on my feed because, the algorithm knows what I follow. And at the time of the film, 90,000 people had disappeared, but I saw a woman, someone had embroidered something for her to wear at some gala in America, and she wrote 110,000 people had disappeared. A lot of them women. It's a harrowing film, but really well done, amazing, like a great film to watch. I think I may have recommended it already because I was talking about praying.
I don't know. Maybe you recommended it in your Spanish one.
Perhaps. Anyway, so yeah, definitely recommend watch it. If you're interested in, there's all sorts of things that, it really made me think about it because without giving any spoilers, I felt that the main character was treated in a particular way because she was a white woman in Mexico, and I read into that a little bit. So if you watched it, please message me. I love to discuss this sort of thing. It's very, very good. So that's one thing. I have a podcast to recommend, like a proper audio podcast.
Wait, before you go into podcasts, now that you've just done your highbrow movie recommendations, right, I will tell you what I've been watching. So, I finally joined the Succession bandwagon. Now it's the last season.
What's Succession?
So, it is a TV show of which there are 4 seasons, and the 4th season is still coming out now. And it is...
What platform?
It's not, but it's Neon, because I don't have Netflix anymore. It's not, but it is essentially the Murdoch family and the power play and the extreme wealth and.
Also, it's British.
No, it's American.
But it's about Murdoch family.
No, it's not about the Murdoch family, but you can draw some very strong parallels.
Because they're
the
like newspaper.
Family. Yes, they're media tycoons, or they've got fingers in lots of pies, and the patriarch of the family is, all-controlling, and he's got the number of children who are fighting to be, nominated as the 2IC for when he has to step down or when he's ill, and, not about the Murdoch family, but very much the Murdoch family. You can draw some very strong parallels.
It makes me think that you've Googled that, because are the Murdoch family known much in New Zealand?
There's lots of podcasts and things on them.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, they are, because there's been those huge trials in the UK a few years ago for the phone tapping. And...
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. You're enjoying it?
I don't think it's as wonderful as a lot of people say, but I binge watched 3.5 seasons in 2 weeks, so it can't be that bad.
That's right.
But I've also done a lot of sewing, and I have started on season 2 of Yellow Jackets, which I was not going to do until season 2 was completely out, because I like to binge rather than be drip fed. But then I noticed it went on hiatus, so I was like, oh, well, I might as well just watch the first half.
I watched...
And Taskmaster, which there's a new season of.
What's that?
Taskmaster is reality TV, and you would hate it.
Oh, God, no. Life is short.
But that is British, and so I like British shows.
I watched, with Martin, I'm not sure he's quite forgiven me yet, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I haven't watched that yet, it's on my list.
It was weird. I mean, it was great, but it was weird.
So that won Best Oscar this year, if I remember correctly.
It won
and
everything.
a couple of Best Actresses.
Yeah, it won everything. It went so it was really interesting, and I mean, it really is about the immigrant story, isn't it? So I didn't quite understand why they did the fantastical magical thing. I mean, I'm drawn to art house films. I would watch an immigrant story any time of the day. I don't need the fantastical to be drawn to it. But they chose to do the fantastical, so we kind of watched it like this. And also, I did say to Martin, like, there was so much hype about it, but they didn't really explain what it was. So I think it was a surprise to us. And I said to Martin, when we finished watching it, like, I was glad to have watched it. I'm glad I did it. But I said, if I was a man and this had been sold to me as an action movie, I'd feel really skanked.
Because I kind of got the vibes that it was sort of actiony and multi-university and...
There's, the magical thing is the multi-university shenanigans. And there's definitely action, but I think most men would be like, what? It was sort of action movie meets kind of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, sort of. It was like dress up and like fantastical costumes and.
Well, that's very much a Marvel movie as well.
But also, I mean, I am not their customer because I would just watch a plain story of immigration and how hard things are and youth and older persons and all that. Yeah, I would do it. And I don't know enough about pop culture. Like I'm not in that place, right? I don't pay attention. So there may have been lots of references as to what it was going to be about. I just wanted to watch it because it was a film. It was mostly an Asian cast. It was, so I was really drawn for that. But yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted. Now you can go on to your podcast recommendations.
Oh yeah,
and then I have one of those too.
Okay, great. So the podcast is called Museums and That. So you have to say it in a Yorkshire accent because they're based in Leeds. And I'm going to try and get you the image. Oh, damn you. Okay. Can you see that? Museums and apostrophe that. AKA Museums and That. So good. So good. I'm just into culture. I'm just really into culture. If you can recommend something similar from New Zealand, that'd be fantastic. I haven't come across anything yet. Culture is my thing. But I love it because they're just funny.
So what are they talking about? Specific artifacts?
So no. So they work for the Leeds Museums Trust. But they interview people from all sorts of other museums. But they're also funny. Like they're doing the whole Yorkshire funny thing. So they speak in Yorkshire accents, which is great. Because, you miss accents when you're in New Zealand. You miss accents from England. You don't come across them that often. So that's fun. But then there's this whole other side of it, which is all about the culture. Like, for example, the episode that I listened to today was about the Museum of Slavery and the Maritime Museum in Liverpool. So I didn't know this, but without getting heavy because Catherine's in the room, the slave trade was not just an American thing. Like, all the landowners were in Britain. They're the rich folk with the massive houses that, all their kids go to Eton now. They were the ones that had plantations. They were the ones putting money behind the slave trade. So, and they went through the docks in Liverpool. So, this is a British problem as well. So they were talking about how they're trying to, they've decided that the black people of Liverpool have been demanding that there is more light shone on this culturally in one of our cultural institutions. So they're now converting what was one gallery within the Maritime Museum into a whole museum, but they're not doing it on their own. They're doing it in conjunction with the community. So what does the community want? So that was a really interesting episode, and also talking about how the root of the problem is like dreadful, awful human rights violations, but also they don't want the museum to just be about that, and so they get black people from the black communities come into the museum and talk about what they want. And someone came in, a black artist, and she was like, let's do something about black joy, about all the great things about being black and all that. So, but super interesting. And at the end, they do two things, because it's like a funny, serious podcast. they do what's your takeaway from what we've talked about, and then what's your actual takeaway recommendation. So everybody recommends their favourite takeaway shop. It's great. I mean,
nice.
What more do you want? So, I mean, will we put it in the description box? Maybe not. But very good. So your recommendation now.
So my recommendation, now, I've only watched about half a dozen episodes of this, but it was recommended to me from our friend Amy.
Yes.
It's called Ear Hustle. Ear as in EAR.
Ear Hustle.
You all know that I am quite a fan of true crime. And this is a different, well, it's sort of adjacent. It is interviewing prisoners, I think they're active prisoners in America, talking about their experience of prison life. So it's not about what they're in for or the crimes they did. So I've listened to an episode on Sally's, which is your cellmate, and what you look for in a cellmate and things.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
It's interesting.
I would be interested
It's
in
sort
that.
of human
What's
experience.
What's it called?
Ear Hustle. Ear, E-A-R.
Ear Hustle.
Hustle, like H-U-S-S. I'm dyslexic, so I'm probably not spelling this right.
Ear Hustle. No, that's
Yep.
good.
So it talked about what they're looking for there. I've just listened to one on the transgender experience in prison, where in the prisons that they are in California now, so it's American, so it's based, it's an American experience. In California now, I believe, based on what I've listened to on the podcast, it is now, if you identify as a transgender person, there is the possibility that you can apply to be in a prison of the gender that you identify with. So if you are a trans woman, you can go into a woman's prison, and if you're a trans man, you can go into a man's prison. So they were interviewing trans women, so trans women in a woman's prison, and they pointed out that as of when that podcast was filmed, no one is aware of any trans men who have opted to go into men's prisons, which is, they're just talking about that sort of experience and the difference between. So they interviewed a trans woman who has experience of being both in the male prison and the female prison, and the differences they had found, or she had found, between the two.
Interesting. God, we're really bringing you cheer today.
Oh, so, I'm enjoying it. The human experience is really...
yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Even when you think you're watching Intergalactica, whatever, it's just about the human experience. Cool.
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's it for my podcast so far.
Okay, I've got a recommendation of an Instagram account, which is about my new passion project that I'm going on, my new hobby. But anyway, she's called Lou Mason Baker on Instagram. I think her name is Lou Mason, but her Instagram is L-U Mason Baker. And she makes rugs. And I love her. I want to be her friend. She doesn't know me though. You probably didn't hear that. I love her. She's great. She's full of colour and great rugs.
Latch hook rugs or
What did she call them? Yeah, you can say that.
yeah.
Oh yeah, great. Okay, so maybe now it's time.
No. You've had your rug anecdote. Now anecdote. Now you get mine.
Sorry.
So when I was in Turkey, I went to a rug factory.
You went to Turkey?
I went to Turkey.
In your garage?
Yeah.
Oh.
Went to a rug making factory, and this was where they had them on looms, and they were being hand knotted.
Yeah.
Amazing. That was my anecdote. And I drank apple tea, and it was beautiful.
Oh my god, the apple tea is amazing.
Especially because it was so hot, and this was chilled. It was amazing.
But then you find out it's all synthetic, because I
Yeah,
went to
there's
Turkey.
no actual apples.
Yeah, there's no actual apples. I went to Turkey on holiday and we bought a rug.
I regret not buying a rug.
I regretted buying it. I mean, not because it wasn't beautiful and we loved it and it was just amazing, but you get sent on these tours.
Yeah.
And of course, the rug probably cost as much as the holiday. And we were not the people that had the money to do this. But it was just beautiful, and Martin and I were like, we really want to buy. Of course, they're really great salesmanship. And it was silk on cotton. Beautiful. It wasn't knotted. It was just stunning. This would have been 25 years ago, and we paid £500 for that rug.
Wow, that is a lot.
I used to earn, after that, about 3 or 4 years after that, no, more than that, good lord, more than that. Well, let's just say 3 or 4 years after that, my first job after university, I earned £800 a month.
Oh, sorry, Catherine knocked off the charger thing, and it's all gone to pot.
sorry.
Oh, that's quite hot in the
Sorry.
sun.
Yeah, so now the rug, because of course we don't do the lifestyle of being barefoot in the house. It got completely wrecked. It now lives in the dog's kennel. Because you can get them repaired, but you normally get like one little thing repaired. No, you would have had to basically do the entire carpet. So
Wow.
yeah. Oh, offline, you've got to tell me more about Turkey. I love Turkey. I loved Turkey. We wanted to do more. We just went on a package.
I was a package, and we were literally there for a day. It was part of a cruise thing. But I went to Ephesus, which was amazing. I rate it higher than Pompeii.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and we went to the right place, and we did a drive around the.
And you had apple tea. I love the apple tea.
It was amazing because it was so hot, and then this chilled apple tea came out. And it was it's incredible.
Yeah.
And I regret not buying a rug, but I didn't have a house or money. And I found I was someone who saved up diligently for like 18 months to go on this trip. It was like
You did.
it was.
Who knew she could do that?
I know I can't do it now, but I had spent the previous 18 months double, looking at something thinking, do I really need this? Is it essential? So I had bought nothing essentially other than
You even
clothes
brought
when
your-
things fell apart.
And you brought your lunch to work.
I had packed lunches. It was,
Like normal
bare
people.
bones sort of things.
It's good when you have a goal.
I didn't have any, when I got back, I didn't have any shoes because I'd worn all my shoes out, and my shoe collection has never recovered from me saving. Because I used to have some great shoes.
Funny. Totally worth
But
it.
when I was away, I was so in that mentality of not spending, I did not do nearly enough shopping. I came back with spending money.
Yeah, that's wrong.
I did it wrong.
But you're planning to go back to Europe at some point when you can stop shopping here.
Yeah, I've lost that. I did all my saving for my entire lifetime in those 18 months.
At some point, I'm sure you will go back to Europe.
We're 25 minutes in. Do you have any more?
Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it? No, I'm not even going to talk about anything. What I was going to say is, we really ought to start because it's 27 minutes and we've talked about all sorts of fluff.
Okay.
And now very little stitching. You're welcome.
Okay. Do you have any fully finished objects, FFOs?
No.
Do you have any FOs?
No.
Okay, I have FOs, but I'm going to show them in whips because, as you know, I have been heavily concentrating on prepping one of my projects for a construction class that happens at the start of July. So that's been my main focus. I'll just show it as between your whips.
Okay, so should I start?
Okay, yeah, you start.
I've only got one whip because I became obsessed with quilting to the point that I wrecked all my joints. So my elbows were sore, my wrists were sore, all my fingers were sore. It was one of those where I was like, okay, I didn't mean it, I'm just gonna rest now. So instead of resting, I brought up my stitching. But this is my Consider the Lilies project. I just want to show you the cover because I always want to show the cover because it's very beautiful. And normally it parts and it's there, but I've just rearranged the sheets because I've been having to look through like 50 pages every time I need to find a new page. And I've just realized I could just remove all the black and white sheets that I never use.
Yeah, take the ones you finished out or not ready for.
No, the black and white ones.
Because
Because it came printed in color and printed in black and white, but I've been moving through black and white, which I never use. So anyway, Consider the Lilies. Isn't this gorgeous? Gorgeous. Beth Twist. Heartstring Samplery, whose work I love. I've made quite a bit of progress, including progress since Wednesday, because I filmed the Spanish one on Wednesday, but then I continued. What have I done?
Oh, you've done some baskets. Spoiler.
She's such a delight, isn't she? Okay, so I've done the bee, and I've done the flowers, and then on the other side, I've also done the bee, but you'll see they're. Can I show these like this? These are bee cousins because they're a little bit different.
Wasps.
I think they're bees.
They will be.
What's she on about? And then, even though I love these patterns that are very pinks and reds, I did these flowers, and then I just felt it was just too much red. There's a lot of red. So then, I made it blue. It's blue and white. And do you love the intentional mistake here, which is way longer? So I'm very happy with those two. And then I did baskets. And I think baskets are my new favourite thing.
Well, what a surprise that you've done baskets.
Yes, who knew? Because nobody would just blurt it out, would they?
I am surprised that they're your new favourite thing, though.
Oh my god, I love them because they're, apart from the little bit of leaf, they're totally predictable.
Nice.
I love them. Of course, chose my own colours based on laziness. So if I have a colour that kind of looks like it could go in the basket in my bag, I would use it.
So lots of reds again.
Oh no, but I wanted them to be like apple-y colour-ish. But I can't walk the 6 meters to my basket of colours. But then here I was like, oh yeah, very nice, yeah. And then, oh no, I didn't even. No, is it on this? Oh yes, this side. So these are original basket, and then this is the second basket. And then I was like, oh, I've run out of like, I'll put gold in.
Here's some mouldy apples.
No, we're going with lemon. It's a lemon. And then I also did little flower. This little flower. So I've gone back to do it in pairs, which is odd. So one's turquoise and one's blue. So yeah, I'm making good progress.
It's looking fantastic.
It's a lot of stitching.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy with it. I'm really enjoying it. And of course, let's not miss a political opportunity. This is the one that says, no more criminalization of social protest. Ta-da! That's it. I was working on this morning as well, until I had to get up to have a shower. There was a spider in the shower.
Rude.
On the, because we have a curtain. I'm never going to have a shower with glass. It never gets clean. Unless you use the most toxic chemicals. I was like, no, we're having curtains. Anyway, I'm having a shower, and you know, I'm already having a cold shower because it wasn't very hot. Solar, hot water and all. And then a blooming spider appears on the inside of the curtain, so then I had to finish my shower with the curtain open because I had to trap the spider into the shower curtain. And then Martin was watching sports, so he was not very supportive. Anyway, so that's that. What about you? Show.
Excellent. So I will actually
So now
show.
you just run with your cross stitch because I've got embroidery, not cross stitch next.
I think we just go one-on-one. I like it when we do that. It doesn't
Okay.
matter that it's not all cross-stitch related.
Okay, you go.
So I have actually done a little bit of cross-stitch this week. So this is.
Can I open the door?
Yes, it is very
it's
warm
very
in here.
warm in here, isn't it?
So this is a peacock, a
Excuse
unicorn,
me.
and a badger. No, this way.
Sorry.
Rude.
We don't expect this in Y80, for goodness sakes.
And as you know, this has been my go-to project for if I'm in social situations where I can't work on my main project that I'm working on. So I worked on this before the guild meeting on Thursday. And I'm going to be taking it to the stitching retreat next weekend
Let me just squeeze past.
as a filler. So I've done some outlines. So I've got the outline of that big leaf there, and this,
good thinking.
this one here, which I think is another apricot from a different line, but it's a boob, so it's just like a single boob. So there we are. I've been doing some outlines so I can fill those in. So this is coming along quite nicely. I do love this one.
Very sensible. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
What do you think? A third done?
No. Because it's the whole thing. It's a full coverage. All that background is stitched.
Are you going to do it all stitched?
Yeah. I already started to do it, so.
Oh, yeah, I can see.
Yeah, I'll show people. See, there's the full green around there. But really enjoying this. I'm almost tempted to put it on a roll though, so I don't. At the moment I'm stitching
You
in
know,
hope.
especially with the background, it will distort, I think.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm saying it from experience. When I've done tapestry with the background, that distorted my work. Which
Yeah.
has now gone to the op shop after 20 years distorted in my house.
Well, I figure if it gets distorted, I might turn it into a cushion that no one can use.
No, but the thing is that you still have to straighten it for a cushion. This is the problem. I couldn't be asked.
Ah.
So I never straightened it, and so it was a wonky cushion.
I can live with a monkey cushion. We'll see. Anyway, that one has had some work done on it.
Nice. Okay, so I hope I haven't shown this in English. Have I?
No, last time I saw it, you had done an outline and a
line,
split seam
okay.
stitch.
Okay, so now I have, so this is my Trish Burr project from the Inspirations book, and this is the dog. Because we've opened the door and she thought we were inviting her to party, which we're not. So I started doing the stems. So I'm gonna do
beautiful.
the stems first. I was so terrified doing this project because I was very sure that my personality would get in the way. So once I started, I didn't want to stop. I did about 4 hours of this. I was just like, I don't want to stop because if I stop, I might never pick it up again. I think I will. Although it's now the weekend and I haven't yet, so.
But you have been on a quilt binge.
I have been on a quilt binge. But anyway, I love this. I'm actually very happy with my long and short stitch. I'm very happy with the quality, the consistency, the direction, all that. The only thing I think I could have done better, which, you know, like, this is the first serious project that I've done with this stitch. I've done this a lot of times in the past for little things. Of course I'm not following the instructions, because, hello. And I didn't even look at the colours that she recommends, because, hello. So, just from looking at the list, like glancing at it, I think she must have had like 8 different greens. Well, we're not doing that. So I've only got 3. So the line is quite blunt between that and that. So what I'm doing for the third one is I've actually done lots of interspersing. So I'm hoping to mix them up. So it'll be more gradual for the third section.
It's gorgeous.
But also I really love as well how this is talking to the botanical drawing that I'm doing, which I hate, and I am quitting because I shouldn't suffer so much.
If you're not enjoying
I just
it.
feel like I'm in a straitjacket. I hate homework. And I shouldn't have to, so I'm not going to. I'm just doing it with my friend.
So this is almost thread painting, right? Or is thread painting?
It is thread painting. Yes.
That's the Joe Dixie class you've signed up for, isn't
Yes.
it? Yeah. So for those who are not aware, Stitch Witches and Deneen are running a couple of Joe Dixie classes
Yes.
in May.
So I've
Check 'em
signed up, miraculously. I have signed up and paid up for a class.
Excellent.
I'm very excited about it. So she's running 2 classes, but I'm only doing one. Because
doing
one
both.
is, you are. Okay, so one is playing with embroidery stitches. I don't need any encouragement in that respect. I need like corralling in. So I'm just doing the thread painting one. And I really wanted to meet her. So I think she's cool bananas. So yeah, let us know if you're going. Are you local or have you been? Are you from the North Island and you've been to one of her courses? I think there are more tutors in the North Island. Anyway, I'm very happy with this. I'm taking it as a win already, and I love
looks
that
gorgeous.
I enlarged it. So
Yeah.
way better. I hate this thing. It's like, you should watch me. You should see me when I'm working on this. Am I sitting on it like you're supposed to? No. I'm doing all sorts of contortions so as not to obey the rules. But it's working. So yay, that's the second one. I'm not bringing out the pattern to show you, but these are alliums, one of my favorite flowers. Are you a gardener? Can you get alliums? That allium purple sensation specifically. Can you get those in New Zealand? I don't think you can.
So
Very
that is from
concerned.
the Inspirations book, I think volume 4.
Yes.
Excellent. So, because we've got new stitches, I'm going to explain this again. This is a class, Home Sweet Home, that I signed up to do through Stitch Witches last year. And I have had 2 weekends worth of classes where we learned the stitches. And between those classes that were at the start of last year and this year, where we're going to have the construction class, I was supposed to have stitched all of this. This was my first experience of stitching something that wasn't cross-stitch. And I was quite intimidated by it. But within the last year or 18 months, I have done a whole pile of other classes, I've worked on a whole pile of different projects, and now that this construction class is rapidly coming up, I was like, oh no, I must get it out, and this has to be my core focus. And I have loved it. I have obviously gained confidence in doing different sorts of stitches in that time, and it has just made it so much better. But I am pressed for time. So this is due on... not due. So the construction class is the first weekend of July, and I will note that the teacher has said you don't have to have everything finished. We're obviously not going to be constructing all of this in class because there are a number of other little accoutrements that go with it.
Sorry, the dog's annoying.
But in saying that, I have been making really good progress because I'm a little bit obsessed. And in the last 2 weeks, I won't let you come back before it rolls out.
Sorry, just showing off my fancy trousers.
I have finished 2 more sides of the house and started on the base. So I now have the roof finished, all 4 sides, and I've started the base, and then that's the box.
That's the house, isn't it?
And this is the really time-consuming stuff. So,
When is the class?
first weekend of July.
Ah, plenty of time.
This is the back panel, and it's an orange tree, and the oh, I might just turn that light up a bit.
Yeah, I've just drawn the curtains to see if the dog will be quiet.
Huh.
It's a bit crap now.
It's a bit crap. I accidentally fell over in the whole thing.
Yeah, and I can see that it's coming off now.
Oh.
Can you see? Maybe this is not the moment though.
Maybe we need to invest in a new one. We paid a whole $20 for this. But I am loving it. It's gorgeous. So if you hold that up, I'm going to show you what it should look like. I am super pleased. Like, there are things that if I was doing it again, I'd change. But overall, super pleased with how this is turning out. You can take it down.
That's why we're waiting. We're going to pretend that we have pleasant music in the background.
Oh, wait a minute. Did I already show this one ages ago?
Maybe.
No. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, this is
One
good
moment,
practice for
caller.
my biceps.
One moment, caller. I think I may have shown this one a while ago. Oh, you guys are getting an extra one. Yep, okay, take that down. You would have seen this one finished a while ago. So that's a picture of the back of the house. Looks pretty good.
Very beautiful.
So you've already seen that. That I didn't work in the last 2 weeks.
Did you glue this?
No, it's all stitched.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's very well stitched. It's not moving at all.
I know.
Wow.
I had to make a little like buttonhole and spread the fabric and then push it through and stitch it in.
Amazing.
Sorry guys, that's not one. So you show something and then I'll show you what I have actually worked on.
No, that's it for stitching for me. Oh,
You
I've
don't want
got
to show your quilts? Yeah, show your
yeah.
quilts.
So I have been obsessed with my quilt. This one. And oh, I left the other stuff there. So I'm now at the point where all my lengths are done and I'm just joining them together.
Do you want me to get the other stuff?
No. You've seen it plenty of times. So this is the fabric. So this was a bed sheet, and I think that's the culprit of me struggling with my hands and my wrists and my elbows, because the count is very high. The number of threads per inch is very high, and so and also I don't change my needles as often as I should. So it's a struggle with every stitch. So I'm now at the point where So the way the quilt is done, that's fine. The way the quilt is done is that it's not all the lines going down one way. Some are one way, the others are across, the others are down, the others are across again. So I'm now joining lengths. But I'm going to Wellington on Thursday because my baby's having her wisdom teeth pulled out. Quite suddenly. In Dunedin, you probably, even for private, even for private, you have to wait 4 to 6 months, which is what happened to my youngest. But Sophia lives in Wellington, so last week I wasn't going to Wellington to look after her. This week I am. It happened in over a period of 3 days. It was like, oh, this is the problem. This is your appointment. Your operation's on Thursday. So I'm going up to Wellington. So I'm hoping to be back on the Friday at 4:25. And I'm hoping to be able to go to the stitching weekend. So I'm going to Welly, so I thought I'd take like easy sewing with me, because I'm basically going there to watch my daughter sleep and making sure she has soup. Yeah. Not very exciting. I thought I might get this bit finished by this recording, but pain. There you go. What else have you got?
So this is the one I should have showed you. This is spring pea. I think last video I had done everything but the grasses and the flowers along the bottom. Sorry people. It all shivers. I didn't break anything, I just knocked it over. So there it is.
It's very pretty.
Scales. There's a lovely little lizard charm. A ladybird charm. Right there, that I've just covered. That's so cute.
It's very dainty and pretty.
Did
See? You totally could do this. You just needed to know that yourself.
Yeah. Do you have another quilt?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just whiz through the rest of it. So not only did I finish that one, and then start this one here, which is the summer strawberry side. But wait, there's more. I finished summer strawberry, except for the 2 beads that need to go on the caterpillar because I lost my eye bead, so I've ordered some more. And it's taken a while to arrive. But how cute is great.
That's lovely too.
And I even changed the design. I changed the way I did the strawberries because I didn't like the way they did it in the thing.
Oh, okay.
So I changed it. I just scaled down the size of the stitch, so not a huge change.
Oh, okay.
But if you know me, that's a huge breakthrough.
That's right.
Going against the instruction.
All the therapy is working.
So there's that. And so that means I've got the roof done, the 4 sides done, and now I am working on the base, which just has this motif in the middle.
That has to be for your name, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, I've made a big mess in Catherine's house.
It's a good job you don't have a double-barreled surname.
I know.
With a very, very long name.
So all I've done is I've traced the pattern on without my name because I thought I might change the style of the writing for my name.
Oh, okay.
And I have done the Hungarian chain stitch for the top. And I meant to do the bottom bit this morning, but I slept in. So I haven't done that. So I did that yesterday, so I'm hoping I'll whack this one out by the end of the weekend.
Great.
Which means all I have got left to do is a whole lot of other stuff. So all of the accoutrements that go in it need to be stitched. So I need to trace the pattern on, which I have started to do on some of the other ones, but I haven't finished it yet. And stitch them. But this is where it comes into, some of you know that this year I've been doing a book a days. You will not, I don't think, have seen my April one, which has got rainbow unicorns all over it. And my May one,
God, that's...
Alice in Wonderland theme.
Oh, we haven't started May yet.
I know, but I've prepped.
Okay, yeah.
But what I've usually...
You've already done Alice in Wonderland.
No,
What did you do before?
I did cakes because it was my birthday month.
No, before that.
Mushrooms.
And January? Or maybe you had shown me your
January
stickers.
was just fantasy stickers.
You must have shown them to me and I must
Yeah.
have remembered the Alice bit.
Anyway, generally what I do, or because I'm copying someone else who does it, is that I write the projects I'd like to work on that month and how many times I'd like to touch them, and then I can tick them off, and then at the end of that there might be a reward like, oh well, you've worked on all these ones, that means you can work on this project. But what I've done for May is I have written out the elements I want to complete during May.
Very good.
And then I will do the same thing for June, and then that will hopefully finish it off.
You'll totally get it done now. You've really...
Yeah. The smaller things are a lot smaller, and I've mastered. I know what I'm doing now. None of it is new or intimidating. There's no stupid windows to do. Didn't enjoy the windows.
Oh, didn't you?
They were very fussy.
Oh.
But that's it.
But even within the little bits, you can choose like, oh, I can definitely do that at home, but you might want help with that little round one that has the threads.
Yeah.
You might want to do that first. Make sure you get it done.
Yeah.
So you can pick the teacher's brain.
Exactly.
Great. Well
So
done.
that's it. That's
very
been my
good.
stitching for the last 2.5 weeks.
Cool. What was I going to show?
Shopping.
Shopping.
I think we're on to shopping.
Yeah.
You're going to show your stitching related shopping, and then I'll show my non-sponsored relating shopping. I'd just
Okay.
like to point out.
So the first thing I would like to show is, this is only the second non-husband shirt that I have, which came all the way from Mexico. I am so excited. My lovely friend Angelica sent me my parcels from Mexico, and she tried to send 3 second-hand shirts but run out of space. I now know why. But yeah, it's actually a beautiful fabric. I'm thinking this could do really good binding.
Oh,
It's kind of quiet. And I thought maybe for my other quilt with the half square triangles, maybe that would work. Although I am looking for bright, bold, plain colored shirts in cotton. Really hard to find.
Yeah.
So I started with like, it has to be red. And now I'm thinking, oh, I could do maybe mustard or green or red. Just, it has to be bold and plain, but you know, we'll see. But you know, that's kind of, and cotton, that's part of the chase. I was talking to someone about, that's part of the fun of working with secondhand fabrics as well. Like I don't get frustrated. It's just exciting. It leads me up shopping. So anyway, I'm really happy with this one, but this arrived today.
Did this parcel only arrive today?
Yes, because the first one arrived well over a week ago, but this one got stuck in customs. So we had to, my friend, she messaged me because she needed help translating what the things were into English, because like it's not everyday English that you're like papier-mâché, you know, pencil toppers. So yeah, I'm very excited about this. I'm just going to show you quickly the things. Do you want to do one at a time?
I've only got one thing. You show your shopping and then I'll show
Okay.
mine. And then we'll just, the difference in our personalities.
Very different. I got these two skeins. I can't remember what this was dyed with. It's cotton, so I'm thinking I'm going to weigh it, see if I've got enough for another one of those tops. If I don't have enough, I'll make it sleeveless, like just straight down. Isn't it gorgeous? They're naturally dyed. I'll put the name of the company, and it's called Elos Flores. They're based in, I think they're based in Mexico City. But beautiful. And this is Indigo, and it's kind of variegated. And I thought that would look. Initially, I bought these for weaving, but I'm a pre-beginner weaver. So I actually think I'm going to knit with it, even though it's very fine. I
You
need
could
to
do
think
some
about,
lovely fingerless glove.
yeah, because that's practical, and
Yeah.
I'll actually wear that.
Yeah, I reckon.
No. Anyway, very beautiful indigo dyed. So super happy with
It's
this.
beautiful.
But yeah, very thin. So I need to think about it. I mean, you can knit very thin yarn. It's just what the effect will be. That's the question. But I'm very happy to have a beautiful thing in my house, and it's naturally dyed, which I always try to encourage. This is way thicker. So this is probably a 2-ply lace weight, and this is a 4-ply finger weight. And then I also ordered these 5 little, what do you call these?
Floss card.
Floss cards full of naturally dyed pearl cotton.
So pretty. I love that blue.
Aren't they gorgeous? So a beautiful mustard, beautiful indigo. So these will only be, the colors are not coming out true. These two are not coming out true, I don't think. But anyway, these will be like super special projects. I don't know what they will be. But naturally dyed by the same company, Elos Flores, which I love. And I bought a whole load, maybe 24, do you think?
Yeah.
Of hand-dyed, naturally dyed embroidery floss. And I love them
That's
so much.
beautiful.
So this is the name of the company. They're on Instagram, and that's their name on Instagram. Elos Flores, which can be translated as lazy threads or loose threads. But they're all kind of prim, so I thought this will be really great for a prim sort of project. They're so beautiful. I was going to send these to the artist in the UK to embroider, and I think I probably will send her the indigo and the yellow and the mustard maybe, and the pink, because they're the brighter ones, because she's Indian, and so her embroideries are very bright, and so I don't want to send her pastel colors, because that's she'd be like, what? So I can dye bright colors to go with these, but I'll probably send these 4.
They're beautiful.
And I probably will buy from these people again, because I thought, I mean, there's just so much to like. I like that their labels are paper, not plastic. That's one thing to love. DMC is plastic now, which is disappointing. It's a company run by a woman. All the bits I love. Anyway, so all naturally dyed, which is one of the artisan skills of Mexico as well. They have not forgotten. It's a bit like Peru. It's knowledge that has been rescued. And it came in this gorgeous little fabric bag, which I love. So I feel like so rich at the moment with these. This is like such a treat. But these will be kept in a separate bag, and they'll be super special.
I love that it comes in a wee separate bag. It's so beautiful.
I so love it. And these were not, I mean, the thing that stung was the postage. They were, you know, you're getting an artisan product at a very, very reasonable price. I still follow them on Instagram because I know I will buy more. Anyway, and the last thing to show you, because I am going to do a Flosstube extra with all my huipiles, all my fabrics, everything that I bought, because it's too long to put in this bit now, because it was okay in Spanish because it's just me, but I don't want to take half an hour when it's a joint floss tube.
I can hold some of these as you go through if you want.
Look how she offers.
She didn't offer to give me one. I did ask and she said no.
You know, Martin said, when they passed it around, of course I tortured him and I showed him one by one, and he was like, which one are you going to give to Victoria? I was like, are you crazy? She's not getting any of these.
No, but Catherine has said that she will act as a translator for me so I can buy, not the pencil toppers, he's got something else I really want.
Oh, she's allowed to buy the pencil toppers, I suppose. So these are pencil toppers. Oh my God, Mexico,
Are they
you're
gorgeous?
amazing.
These are so amazing.
Some sort of papier-mâché. Of course, I'm not going to use these. These are not going to be pencils. These are just going to... I can do these.
I can do some more.
Oh. These are going to be displayed in my house.
These are
for the art that they are.
They are so beautiful.
And I'll do these last two. I mean...
that blue one is my
this
favourite.
is like Mexican wrestling champion. I love it.
Can you show them all? They look so good as a bunch.
Yeah. And I just said to him, so the name of the company is Cartoneria Charlie. I'll put it underneath in case people are inspired and they want to get some. He was great because I couldn't pay the way he wanted me to pay, and he was happy to go to the bank and I did a transfer, and it was great. These weren't expensive. I was trying so hard to be good. I
should have got
buy the
more.
whole thing. But also,
So
you know, the thing
beautiful.
is, like, when is enough, right?
When he's run out of stock. That is the answer. These are amazing. I love these. I can't wait to see how you display them.
Victoria got giddy. She was very into them.
They're just gorgeous.
Mexican artisans are the bomb. Amazing.
Now, I will show you my personality in shopping. So, you know how Facebook does targeted algorithms to stores that come up on your Facebook feed? This is one that came up through mine. It's Erstwilder. It's Australian, so Erstwilder.
Interest.
Came in a beautiful box. Says thank you. Beautiful poppy paper. Not poppy paper, what is that? Tissue paper?
Crepe paper. Oh, tissue paper, yeah.
So this is a...
Are you a child of the 90s?
Yep, this is a collaboration that they have done with this particular thing. So it's just limited run. I was a little bit late to the party, so whereas there were quite a few I wanted, a lot of them have sold out. But this is My Little Pony, and it's a badge, a brooch.
Victoria reckons she's gonna wear it.
I will wear it. I haven't taken it off the thing, but I've got big man hands, so it's the size of the palm of my hand. Have you still got something I can do for scale? Oh, it doesn't matter. It's gorgeous.
Oh, there's a glass of water for scale.
It's gorgeous. And the packaging is I'm such a sucker. Beautiful packaging.
It does make a difference, doesn't it?
It does. And it wasn't until I was looking at this at home that I realised. Because they did a number of My Little Ponies. You know, there was Pinkie Pie and all that jazz were there. Not necessarily in stock, but I realised that it's the same pony that's on my wallet. This is a Loungefly wallet for those of you who... I'm so matchy-matchy and I didn't even know it.
Okay, so my question is, are you buying My Little Pony because you weren't allowed My Little Pony when you were younger, or are you buying it because you had My Little Pony?
I had My Little Pony. So my dad taught at a high school, and he used to buy like secondhand toys off the girls he taught. So one year for my birthday, I got this like A4 paper box full of My Little Ponies. Loved it. I'm not collecting My Little Pony. This was just I needed a new wallet and I liked it.
That's how a lot of collections start.
Yep. So I'm not gonna look at the lining.
That face is real joy.
But anyway, super pleased. I was tossing up whether to order two when I ordered this, and I'm now wishing I was, but I just didn't know. I've never ordered from them. I didn't know what the process would be. I didn't know
But not
what
two of the
quality is like.
same.
Oh no, not two of the same. A different horse.
It's winter. You can wear it on your coat.
I can't. I don't have a coat yet. I haven't bought a coat this year. I don't
You
have
buy a
one
coat
of
every
one.
year?
No. But I had to biff the one I had last year.
Okay. Well, it's getting cold.
Yeah. Anyway, it's so cute.
Drum roll.
Not sponsored. This is, paid real money for this.
We bought our own chocolate. Well, Victoria
Not stitching
did.
related, and we very rarely show you non-stitching related shopping. So I hope you guys don't mind.
Do we not?
No, it's always stitching related or stitching adjacent or
Yeah, whatever.
or
We
I
don't
don't
know how
anyway.
to switch off.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it.
That's it.
So hopefully we'll see some of you at the stitching retreat.
in Dunedin, yeah, come up and say hi. If
Come and say hi.
yeah, we'll be like, oh, I don't know what to do, but can't say hi anyway.
We're both looking forward to it. Yeah, it's going to be great.
It'll be great. That's it. Have you got plans for the next 2 weeks other than going to Wellington?
Yes, it's really busy now. This weekend, there's something happening for the next 2 weekends. And I can't quite remember what's the next one?
Oh, you're not going on a trip with Christina?
That's later on in the month.
I don't know then.
Oh, I should tell you this. I forgot to tell you. I am now going to Fibre Fridays in Waikouaiti. I am being sociable.
Good for
And
you.
it's actually quite lovely. But the
Fantastic.
hilarious thing is that we go there and it's just fibre. So it's not knitting or embroidery. It's like, take whatever. Someone turned up just for chats. Didn't have a project. It was lovely. A mixture of ages. So from 17 to older than 65. Wouldn't know what. It was very lovely, but if you live in New Zealand, you'll be nodding when I say this, but if you live outside of New Zealand, you might not realise that when you meet someone, chances are there's a number of points of connection.
yeah, they talk about, what is it, 7 degrees
7
of
degrees.
separation?
It's 2 in New Zealand.
In New Zealand, it's 2.
Yeah. So we're chatting, right? And then they're like, because we don't know each other. It's like, oh, what do you do? And, do you have children? And say, I've got 2 daughters, one's here, and they're curious. So one's in Stewart Island. So, oh, that's interesting. Her daughter lives in Stewart Island. Oh, that's interesting. Anyway, so basically, I'm in my fibre group with Christina's flatmate's grandma. She was like, oh, my daughter lives there. Her daughter is in the backpackers too. That maybe she knows. Yeah. I'm not going to say her name because privacy, but. It was hilarious. I texted Christina. So, Christina, I'm with your friend's grandma in my craft group. Ha ha.
Yeah.
But it felt very cute.
New Zealand is very small.
It is. It's fun. It's a fun game, isn't
It
it?
is. It's like, now, how do we connect?
Yeah,
Very rarely do you have to go through more than 2 people.
that's right. Yeah. Let me just check my list to make sure I haven't forgotten anything else. Yes, I forgot to say about my new potential craft.
Oh, yes.
I'm very excited about this. We've gone past the hour now. Go and have a nap if you need a break. I'm very aware that I'm shedding crafts because, like, for example, I don't think I'll make another big quilt once I finish these. That's the decision I kind of made. Mm-hmm. So I've got 4 on the go, and I had kind of started a 5th one. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep it to a little one. I'm going to keep the idea of the big quilt, but I'm going to make it little because the other 4 really are well on their way. We have too many quilts that we need for our lifestyle now, and I don't want to have more, but I'm already going to add 3 more because 1 I'm giving away. So that's fine. I won't lose the skills, I don't think, but also, you have to move on. I don't want to accumulate stuff for the sake of it. So, I keep thinking, oh, maybe I'll do this, maybe that. And I'm very aware that cross stitch is that for me. Mm-hmm. It's a flat thing. It's very meditative, but it takes up less space.
And I think it takes more time for you to complete.
No.
Yeah, I reckon so. I reckon your bigger ones will take you longer than you do a quilt.
Oh yeah, but I suppose that doesn't matter because that only stops you from starting the next one. It's just a continuous thing. Yeah. Like you don't have a goal in mind in particular. But anyway, I was thinking about things. And a motivator as well is that sometimes you look at something and think, well, I really like that, and I can't either afford it or justify buying it. And so I came across these rugs that are called Proddies. So rug hooking, the American style is one style, but there is a style from the north of England that's even more older than that style, and it's just lengths of wool, sort of like your finger, and you just prod them through the fabric, and they're just loose at the top. They're very cool. So that was the Instagrammer I recommended, Lou Mason Barker or Baker. Did amazing. So Martin comes in the bedroom, and I said, "Oh, I've got a new hobby that's about to start. It's culturally appropriate because it was quite common in the north of England amongst poor people in cold cottages." Now, I don't know that Martin's family ever lived in a cottage. Who knows? But they were from the north of England, and they were from a lower socioeconomic group. He knew what they were. He knew what they were.
Wow.
Like, he'd heard the name Proddy Rugs. And he goes, "Oh, I'm bored of Proddy Rugs." That's like a family joke. So anyway, I really want to make one, but it's going to become this thing where I make 6. So I've been watching lots of videos. I don't want to buy equipment. And I've come across an award-winning person that doesn't use a frame. I don't want to buy equipment. You can even make your proddy with a peg. Like the dolly pegs from the olden days. They show you how you can do that. So I'm very excited.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing your progress.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if my wrists can take it.
Plus it will get, not that you're dying to, but it will get through a lot of your wool stash.
Yeah, because
you're also saying, you've got enough jerseys and stuff at the moment to see
it's not that sort of wool.
Oh, it's not that sort of wool?
No. It's wool as in blankets. You cut up blankets. But then I can naturally dye my blankets to get colours to do that sort of thing as well. And I forgot, in the past I have bought like jumpers with holes and things that are woolen. So I can use those too.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so we shall see. Yeah, I'm always on the lookout for a new craft that I don't need.
Excellent.
Okay, so we'll see you at the Stitch Retreat if you're coming. We'll probably post some photos of it.
Yes, I would imagine so. I don't know. Yeah. Photos of ourselves there.
But she's such a warrior. And that's it really,
That's
isn't
it. Yeah, so we will see you in hopefully 10 days-ish.
Yes.
So not this Thursday, but next Thursday.
Yeah. All right.
Excellent. Kaki day. Oh, that's still going.